Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Keith here from Commander Hoop Celtic. Happy Friday to you. I said I'd pop on, have a chat with you for about an hour before I head back to Dublin for the weekend. It's obviously a bank holiday weekend, but I'm working on Monday anyway. So hello to everyone that's tuning in. Hope you have a great one. Look at questions, answers. That'd be the best thing to do for this podcast tonight. I've obviously covered over a bit of the transfer news already today. I've covered obviously other aspects as well. We've done a video talking about the banners as well. So let me know if the sound is okay. I'm using the microphone, so the quality should be good. I hope you like the jerseys in the background as well. And get the comments in. How's it going, John? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're keeping well. Thanks for tuning in so far. Any questions, throw them at me, about the rest of the season, about the derbies, how we feeling going into this massive season. We're going to be going for sound. Brilliant. How are we feeling going into this season? Are we optimistic that we're clinching the title? Are you a bit nervous? Do you think, we still need to strengthen? Are we still weak in certain positions? Get the comments in big time. So, yeah, I'm not going to be at the game on Sunday, as you're all aware of. I'm going back to Dublin tonight. Flight is delayed, as usual. Typical Ryanair flight, always delayed. So I'm going to head to the airport for about 9. So it's going to pop on for about an hour, have a chat with you, see how everyone's getting on. He's been amazing over the last couple of weeks. He's all know that I've obviously moved over to a different country, which is the country where Celtic's playing. So, I'll get a few games in this season. Obviously, be close. I'll be closer to paradise. It's not going to be easy because I have my kids the weekends, but look, we'll get there. 2 in a row, Aaron. Hopefully 2 in a row. Hopefully. Look at the fixtures. Well, I'm going to talk about the fixtures. I have to go on to Google now and get the fixtures up. Should have been prepared for this. But, as we know, we're playing Aberdeen. They keep boasting on about Aberdeen after playing 4 competitive games and all this malarkey. Don't really care, to be honest with you. It's about what we can turn up on the day. Liam Scales is obviously can't play because against the team, his parent club. So let's talk about the fixtures. Aberdeen 4:30 on Sunday, and then the following Saturday is Ross County, 3 o'clock kickoff, and then 12 o'clock we're going to be at Rugby Park on the 14th of August. Hopefully this month August flies in because payday. 20th of August, we're going to be playing Hearts at home, and then we're away at Tannadice. Some tricky away games in there. You look at August, and then we look, literally we have one home game in August in the league, and then the rest of them are away, and then we have the League Cup. Then on the 3rd of September, the 2nd's my birthday. 3rd of September, we're going to be playing Rangers at Celtic Park. How many kids do I have? 2 kids. So they're not mad fans yet. They're too young to be liking it. The oldest one's not into football, which is understandable. She likes other stuff. So excited we could be doing another striker, 100%. It all falls on Albany Yeti. I know we've been linked with Ferencváros striker Roy May. So hopefully we can get Roy May. I think 24 years of age, I'm not sure. That's a question I need to look up. Now there is international football towards the end of September. Scotland's going to be playing Ireland in the Nations League. So I don't think there's. I think there's 2 rounds of international football before the Qatar World Cup just to wrap up the Nations League. So see what happens there. If he's only first time tuning in, please hit the subscribe button. It'd be appreciated if you can. I know majorities already have subscribed. We're on the road to 13,000. So every thumbs up on a video, every comment is crucial for the channel. I'm doing this by my own, and eventually I will be adding more people to the channel. But for the time being, doing an all right job. So we'll get on with it. So I want to see in the comments is a starting lineup for Sunday as well. I'm going to go for my starting lineup. I'm going to go for come on, Rangers FC. We starting lineup be Joe Hart in goal. Gonna go for Ralston right back. I know Juranovic is fit. Left back, I'm gonna go with Greg Taylor. I know we could have Bear the Bay play there. It's going to be Welsh and CCV, you know. Callum McGregor, defensive midfielder. Itaguchi's injured. He won't be available. Starfelt won't be available. Going to go for, I know I could have went for Jans in the centre-back position. Going to go for Ryan. Ryan Hugh. Matt O'Reilly. David Turnbull. I'd rest Atate, bring him on the second half. Go for Abada on the right, Jota on the left. And I'm going to go for Kyogo up front. Giakoumakis to come off the bench. I know some people might say I'm a bit mad, but that's me starting on it. Just to recap, Hart in goal, Ralston, Taylor, Welch, Carter Vickers, Callum McGregor, O'Reilly, Turnbull, Abada, Jota, and Kyogo. That's what I'm going to go for. Let me know in the comments who you fancy, to be honest. I'm sorry I'm not looking at the camera because I'm trying to look at the comments coming through as well. Should have just moved everything over if I could, but I doubt that's going to happen now. We can give it a go. We'll try and move it over, make it more close to my big mush. Is we enjoying seeing my big mush now. So yeah, I should have my European Cup in the background there, but what can you say? What can you do? Who would you like in the Champions League? I've said Sporting Lisbon. I've said Liverpool, and I've also said Sevilla. If we can get them three back to Seville, back to Lisbon, and back to Anfield would be class. But I need to look into the pots. I need to look into who we could possibly get. I know there's obviously a lot of good caliber teams because we're in pot 3 with Club Brugge. So that's what that's what I think. Regards to David Turnbull, I think David Turnbull will be immense this season. His vision, his goal threat, his set pieces, brilliant young player. Hopefully, if he keeps himself fit, like it depends on the train that ANGE is going to put them through. Hopefully, the players don't be burned out by October and November and getting these hamstring injuries. Look, injuries happen in football. You can't prevent them. You can't wrap people up and just say, look, you're not going to get injured, and this is what happens. So yeah. It'd be the same team we feel against Norwich. Probably, probably. As I said, Giakoumakis came on that game. I like Atate. I think Atate's been playing well under pre-season. I think his goals were being immense. I think Maeda's played well. You have the caliber of bringing Maeda off the bench. Giakoumakis, if you don't start with Tate, bring him off the bench as well. Bernabeu, you see him as well. He's first competitive game for Celtic. So it's been decent. It's been a weird, pre-season. Like, not obviously dealing with the competitive side of it, like the Champions League qualification games. So we're getting there. Aberdeen are not going to be any pushover on Sunday. They're going to be up for it. Jib Goodwin is going to have them up for it. It's like every plan against Celtic. Any team that comes to Celtic Park, they'll obviously hold back and then try to take us on the counter attack. So hopefully the flag days are going to be immense. The weather's nice. Hopefully it is. The weather's nice. Either way, I'm not going to it. I'm going to be at home in Dublin, so I'll get to the game soon enough. Hope he's like the mug. Mug life. Bit of tea. So yeah, keep the comments going. I've been happy with the transfer window so far. What is it now? Like, obviously bringing in Jota, Carter Vickers, and the permanent was unbelievable. If you asked at the start of the season, at the start of the transfer window, would you just want them to and no one else was set for them? You would have bit someone's hand up and said, yeah, definitely. But obviously we've put additions to the squad. Aaron Moyes come in, Jens is at the coming in, Benjamin Seacrest as well, Bernabeu. So we feel a caliber there. So we'll get there. We'll get there. They just need to settle in. I think the Argentine left back looks like a really promising player. Pacing him. He's going to have to get used to the Scottish game. He's going to get used to the European games. Like, hopefully he doesn't go into, if he's starting with Champions League games, doesn't go in, weak. I know it's tough words to say, but these type of South American players could crumble as well. Like, any player can crumble in Europe. How am I doing, Stuart? Not too bad. I'm just going to pop on for less than an hour to chat to you all about this coming season. my predictions for who I think is going to get relegated, I'm going to go for St. Johnston, to be honest with you. I think St. Johnston will be relegated. I think Kilmarnock will be in the relegation playoff. I'm not going to go through the table because a lot of people don't really care where my opinion on what teams finish. I'm just going to say it's going to be Celtic, Rangers, Hearts, Aberdeen, Dundee United, and then Hibs. That's what makes up my top 6. That's what I'm going to go for. I think Dundee United are going to be a good outfit this season. I really think they're going to be up there challenging for the 3rd spot. They'd be pushing for European place. I think Motherwell, no hopes about them after Sligo Rovers last night beat them. Congratulations to Sligo Rovers. Congratulations to the League of Ireland. Motherwell were poor. There was a cracking free kick and a cracking finish by that guy Matt as well. But I'm delighted for Sligo Rovers. I'm delighted for Irish football. As you all know, I don't support an Irish team, so it's good to see me local league do well. It's obviously Shamrock Rovers are still in Europe. They're going to be moving to Europa League qualification. You got who else? Jeez, I'm trying to think for a second. Who else? We got St. Pat's as well. Pats are going to be playing CSK Sofia. So okay, it's good. It's good. I know Hearts are going to be more likely in the Europa League groups as well. So it's good for Scottish football to have as much Scottish teams in European football as well for coefficient rankings. We're set with Maccabi Haifa beating Olympiacos the other day. Olympiacos are kind of always in demand of getting into the Champions League group stages. They obviously got knocked out in the 3rd round. So not 3rd round, 2nd round. Sorry. It looks like Celtic and Scottish football have pocketed a bit of coefficient ranking money from that. 950,000 as well. So which is pretty good. So yeah, get the comments in. There's 11 years on. This is not pre-recorded. It's straight live. Get the comments in. I know I didn't really announce that I was going to pop on. Just said I'd pop on and chat to you before I head off, just to burn a bit of time off and catch up with. Majority is are phenomenal, as I said. Lovely comments from you on a daily basis. I don't want the comments, but I really appreciate them. They motivate me to keep doing this channel, and the channel's not going to be stopping anytime soon. Turnbull's class. He's going to get better. He could be a future captain. My predictions for David Turnbull this season, I fancy David Turnbull getting about 11, 12 goals. Looking at double figures with assists. I said that about Matt O'Reilly as well. I think Matt O'Reilly could be finishing on 14 or 15 goals this season. I think he's going to be playing a vital part. All the team are going to have to play a vital part to, overcome the tough teams, overcome the obstacles away, or, windy nights, pissy rain, winter nights in Scottish football. You need to win. You need to win the title. And these 38 games is not going to be easy. I know there's going to be loads of bumps and bruises on the way. But as I said last season, just have a bit of confidence. People were writing ANGE off at the end of September. And people are asking me, is the league done and dusted? And I was like, it's hard to say. Really it's hard to come back. And we did come back. It's being stronger from last season. And that's a lot to ask. But we can get there, definitely. Definitely can. I'm not sold on O'Reilly. You're not sold on O'Reilly? I'm definitely sold on him. I think he's definitely has potential. Looking at his goals in pre-season, even towards the end of last season, I thought he looked like a good player. Really does. I think he's more of a super sub, to be honest with you, Stuart. But we'll see what happens. I need to know in the comments who would you prefer, David Turnbull or Matt O'Reilly. If it was down to one, I know he's going to say both, but just pick one. There's no harm picking one at all. So give it a go. It's absolutely roasting in this apartment today. Always is. How's it going, Ryan, the team? Hope you're well, man. Keeping it lit. Love the picture. Beautiful light show. Got to see that in a bit of Champions League football. How's it going, mate? I am good, not a bother. I am going to be heading about an hour's time to the airport. Well, probably 2 hours time because the flight's delayed. Back to beautiful Dublin for the weekend. Got to be Turnbull. Well, I think Ralston's going to have a good season. Hopefully, it's one player that we all want to see stepping up to the plate again this season, and I wouldn't say replicate, do better than what he was last season. And look at for a right back, he scored 6 goals. I think he had 8 assists in there as well. So Anthony Ralston, a man that you said this time last year could he be an outstanding player in the squad going into that campaign? Everybody would have laughed. So congratulations to Anto Ralston. It's done well, the bricklayer from Bells Hill. So I hope he does come onto his game, and we will be concerned, like, if Jovanovic or him gets injured, who's going to be slotting into that position? Welsh can play right back. And speaking of Stephen Welsh, Celtic turned down a bid today from Toulouse, which, Mr. Anthony of Sky Sports, I always call him, Anthony Joseph or Joseph Anthony, whatever you want to call him. He put it up, and they refused to bid a 3.5 million with add-on. So look, I think it was a reasonable, really good money for Stephen Welsh. And look, if he goes in the end of the window, wishing the very best. I just think there's something there. I know a lot of people are not confident on Welsh's progress as a player. They look at the bigger picture. They like the likes of Starfelt. They'd rather Julian than Welsh. But if Ange sees composure in him and sees that he's confident on the ball, and he's established at that centre back position because Starfelt is out injured, you can't doubt it. I know a lot of people are on the fence with Stephen Welsh, and look at, he's had to come through the youth academy, and I think he's done well. Like, we go back to 2 seasons ago, and I thought he played well that season, considering we were poor. We were poor. Like, he came onto his game, and some crucial tackles, some crucial goals, and wasn't crucial enough to win a league. But you know what I mean. Love it, mate. Been following you for months now. Green, Boys in Green. That's that Boys in Green on Instagram, is it? And TikTok. I don't really be on TikTok anymore, to be honest with you. Too much negativity, and I know it's just constant hate. I'm not here to call people out and start drama. I'm just here to have a laugh and talk about the same things that you want to talk about. Celtic pub talk, as you want to call it. 3.5 million is a fair price. Not just worth losing him with the amount of games we have when he's really good. But that's the thing, like, if he can keep himself fit, and he has a decent head on his shoulders as well. Doesn't really get sent off. His disciplinary record is pretty decent as well. So I think Welsh can do well for us this season if he's called upon. It's a long season ahead, and I know you don't think that when you're in the midst of it, but it is a long season ahead. Like, you're looking at between 50 to 60 games this season. Depends on how we progress in the Cups and the Champions League. And I want to say now to you right now, I'm not trying to buzzkill the Champions League party here, but I don't think we have the squad to get through to the group, get past the group stages. And I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. And I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy here in any ways. I just think, there's a lot of players in that squad that don't have Champions League experience, European experience. And it's up to the likes of Joe Hart and, Callum McGregor to step up. And even Julian wasn't in Champions League. Players like that to step up and, lift these lads and get these lads up for it. And I know the fans will. I know the 12th man at Celtic Park, definitely. But did you see the news about Celtic are after Kong from Japan? We were linked with Kong about a year ago. I don't know if it's going to happen, David, to be honest with you. It's like, it was the same with, what's his name? Oh, it's gone out of my head now. Same the guy that was on loan at Schalke from Man City that went to Borussia Mönchengladbach. That guy, I can't even think of his name now, the Japanese left back. Can't think of it. It's gone out of my head, So many names were linked to it. I know I talk about a lot of them, and I know a lot of you don't like me talking about certain players until it's official, but I have to put content up. I can't talk about the same stuff all the time. So it is what it is. Timmy Bing, what is the story? How are you keeping? I hope you're well. I hope you like the jerseys in the background as well. We got the L94 jersey there. We got this beautiful black jersey, which is like, iconic. I think it's one of the most comfortable football jerseys I own. And then we got the CR Smith. CR Smith. The winning the Airdrie. What's your name on Instagram? Are you off that too? No, I don't really be on my personal Instagram. I don't really give people my personal Instagram. But Come on the Hoop Celtic is post on Instagram. I don't really mail connect with people at the moment. It's just too much shit going on in life. So, yeah, that's it there. Come on the Hoop Celtic for Instagram. We're 50 away from 50 likes away and 50 likes away from 50,000 likes on Facebook. So if you can jump onto Facebook, it's the same name. Come on the Hoop Celtic, no spaces. or with spaces, sorry. Give us a like on Facebook if you haven't. A massive shout out to Holly and to Courtney, my two girl admins that are taking care of the page. They're doing a phenomenal job. Holly's been doing a great job, and to any former admins I had as well over the years, they've done a great job as well. Can't forget about them. You know, I always say whatever you put in is brilliant. Some phenomenal stuff. Yep. So yeah, keep the comments in. Keep the comments coming through. Score predictions for Sunday as well would be ideal. I want to talk to you about Mikey Johnston. I know I've mentioned him a good few times on the channel the last 4 or 5 days. How he's feeling about Mikey Johnston? Is he cut out for a move to Belgium? Is it a case he goes to Hibs or he goes to League One or not League One in England or a championship team? Let me know in the comments. Now, Mikey Johnston needs a long move, and Ange clearly stated today in his press conference that they're exploring avenues for him to get out there and change the environment of football he's in to develop as a player, and that's great to see. It means that he hasn't given up on Mikey Johnston like I did. You know, I gave him Mikey Johnston 2 years ago, but look, he's still on the roster. You know, you got to back every player that's on the roster. If the manager sees something in them, you gotta do it. You know, do it on the business one so you can get an extra like. Thanks very much. Really appreciate that. As I said, 50 likes away from 50k. Started up in 2011, and nearly 11 years old now. We're up to 50,000 likes, and you know, during lockdown we had some cracking acts on. Like, we obviously had the likes of singers on that couldn't go out and busk or couldn't do live gigs because the pubs were closed, and we had entertainment on for 3 months straight, and it was phenomenal. A shout out to every single one of them that came on. You know, it gave them the distress and go live and get the numbers of 400 to 500 people watching, playing songs, and look, it was good laugh, and you know, it got me through lockdown, making the posters and scouting these musicians out from all over the world to give them a bit of time on Facebook to go live, and it was good crack, you know. But I don't think I'll be going back to any time soon because we're back to normality now. You know, like, majority of these musicians are back gigging and are, you know, doing other jobs now because the way the world's gone. So yeah, you all have the new home jersey. I haven't purchased it just yet. I have the new away jersey, so I'm hoping with the tour jersey we're gonna get leaked pictures over the next couple of days. I know we keep saying it, but it's quite strange that there hasn't been any leaked pictures just yet because that jersey's out nearly almost 2 weeks now. So usually jump pursuit a week after or 10 days after. So see what happens. I was really against the home jersey at first, folks, and you know, it's starting to grow on me. Like, some jerseys do have to grow on you, and perhaps get a long sleeve. We shall see, but you know, it'll be another month away, so we'll get there. You know. Irish Mick, nice guy. Me and Mick know each other a few years. He's, you know, a lot of people don't like Mick. A lot of people love Mick, and you know what? One thing about Mick is he's honest and he says it how it is. And I met Mick. The last game I was at was Glimt, and you know, we had a lot of shit over the last couple of years. Fell out about 3 years ago. We just, you know, tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Forget about it, man. We both do the same thing. We both talk about Celtic. We both have fan bases. We both want to put content out. This is like, at the end of the day, we both support the same cause." And you know, Mick's, you know, to some people he's been an inspirational man. You know, he's been through a lot, and I wish him the very best with his channel. I really do wish him the very best, and that's to every Celtic vlogger. You know, like, it's to get in front of a camera and present yourself and talk about Celtic. You know, I'm not the most statistic person in the world. I don't have stats. I don't whip these stuff out like other podcasts and talk about, you know, the ball possession and how many passes they've complete. That's not me. You know, I don't like that shit. I don't like talking about that. I know there's people in there that's more into depth with it. And to any Celtic vloggers that do that, fair play to you. Fair play to you, going out of away, looking up a particular player, what they do. My most important thing is appearances, goals, you know, appearances, goals, assists. If it's a keeper, clean sheets. I don't like that whole spiel of listening to people talking about 81 possession average the whole season, you know, completion rate. It's not for me. And I'm sure the majority that are watching think the same as well. It's just, I look at, there's some absolute cracking YouTube channels out there. Ryan's top of the list at the moment. He's keeping it well. We got Hamish doing a phenomenal job at Hell 67 and the team. They're doing absolutely brilliant, and I love watching them. So hopefully, if he's want to mail Hamish Carton, or he's want to email Hamish and get him to get in touch with me, or Hamish, Hamish, I call him Hamish, obviously. I'd be love to have a chat with him one night, top guy. He's put a lot of work into his channel, and he's leading the way with Celtic Fan TV. And you got Axom; they're doing a phenomenal job. They really got through lockdown, and every day they have a show on, and it's fantastic to see. Paul John Dykes and the team doing a great job. You got Enda Coyle; the boys are doing well. You got Endless Celts. Stephen and the lads are phenomenal. You got the Jungle Gyms; they're doing a great team. Paddy and the boys. There's some really good teams out there. You got the Boise Bus. These guys do this to have a laugh, and you have to give them the credit where it's due. We got Max Ridley as well, young 16-year-old that's trying to get in the Celtic scene. He's doing a great job. And we got Juddy. Juddy's at to making an adventure of it. He's at to adding people to his team, and he's going to do really well. And he's added the likes of Kieran for the Glasgow Celtic, where massive guy, deadly lad. Loved spending time talking to him a couple of months back. And Juddy and Natasha and the team are into something really big this season. I'm looking forward to watching their videos and seeing the whole experience, fan experience. And if I could have that luxury of going to a game and take a season ticket book and take it in, I would. You all know I'm not bragging to the hills here, folks, but we all know if I was going to the games and making vlogs, the channel would be an extra level. But good things come to those who wait, and I have my own skill set of doing things, and you enjoy it. You enjoy what I do. We speak me honest way about stuff. Nothing to need, the European aspect of Celtic this season. It's questionable, because we're going to a level of Champions League football, and as much as a club, we should be in the Champions League. But as a team wise, are we good enough to compete in the Champions League? The questions will be answered in the 6-match series. That's the best way you can say. How are you keeping, quadruple, treble? I hope you're doing well. I hope everything's going well on this fantastic Friday evening. As I said, folks, I thought I'd pop on to have a chat with you, just to let you know that I'm in good health. I'm doing great. The move has been good to Scotland. It's when you move from a different country, it's obviously going to be difficult at first. But as I said, what would I rather do? Live here 7 days a week and not see my kids, or go home and see my kids and take into Scottish culture? If you're not aware, I'm originally from Dublin. Love me city. Obviously love me friends, love all my family, but needed a change. People need a change, and there's no point of what if maybe. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You gotta take a chance of life. Look at me two best friends that live in Pittsburgh and live in America, and not live in Australia now, and they've been living abroad 10 years, and they're doing well. They backed me to the hills to come over here, and the messages I've got from a lot of you is like, good luck with the move to Scotland, and great to see you in Scotland. Hope to have a drink with you one day. Yeah, I hope to have a drink with you as well one day. I'm just a normal person like you. Just come on. The only difference is I put myself in front of a camera. Nothing like, get up some what? I don't know what that means, but need to do well in Europe. How's it going? 1888 CFC. How is all keeping? Said get us out the questions in. Get them in. You don't want to hear about me and my personal life and then how I'm getting on, but get the questions in. As I said, no question is a stupid question unless you're putting in about 4 or 5 times the chat. I'm just like, block. Doing great, mate. Glad you moved here. Yeah, look at if he's aware of the background, how I became a Celtic fan. Wasn't always a Celtic fan. Brutally admit it. To most of the world, I wasn't always a Celtic fan. My dad tried to brainwash me to being a Liverpool fan, and from the age of 12 up to 15, I supported Liverpool as a kid. And I can't even stomach watching the Premier League game now, to be honest, which is Doesn't really like the last Liverpool game. Watch was the Champions League, and then before that, the season before when he hammered United, I think so. Well, the 2 seasons, but I became a Celtic fan because my uncle met a girl from Clydebank, and she converted me after a Champions League game, brought me over for a Champions League game, and it's all history now. I love the engagement with you. I love the thought of buying jerseys. I love the thought of talking about Celtic. I love as much than most people do. As I said, you don't need to be the biggest fan in the world to go to the games. We have iconic fans around the other side of the world that don't go to the games, that bleed Celtic, that get up at 5:30 in the morning to watch Celtic. And the mountains of Scotland. Oh, I didn't know. That's an education lesson for me. I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't apologize about that. Jesus. The comments are flying through now. Fancy Maeda being up there as top goal scorer playing these. My predictions for Maeda, be honest with you, 18 goals. 18 goals, John Boy. I don't know if I'm overreacting or over exaggerating, but I'm going for 18 goals. I'm going for point wise. I think we're gonna finish on 93 points to clinch the league. That's what I'm gonna go for. If we win on Sunday, we go 33 games unbeaten domestic football. So, league games, sorry. Because we always got beaten in the semi-finals. Champions League, group stage, Europa League. If we make that, what I've been saying as well, Frank. Thanks for tuning in. It's great to see you again. Only going to be one big reality check. We need a miracle if we finish third in our group. It just depends who we get, to be honest. All the caliber that we're going against. We're in pot 3, and we're going to be going against some class teams. I know Callum McGregor wants Real Madrid. Some people want a trip to Munich, and we get what we're given. We get what we're given, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, but look at people don't really look into that side of it in Dublin, and majority are Man United and Liverpool fans, and do you think we will add more players in the window? Yeah, Ange said it today. They're still looking at strengthening the team, and he said, boy, if he sees vulnerability in the squad from certain positions, I know that's a hard word to say. Well, I heard pot 3. With Club Bruges. Could be wrong. It just depends on the way it's done. Who are you most excited about? This season? Giakoumakis. Be honest, I think Giakoumakis came on his game in the second half of the season. I want to see the big Greek, getting that golden boot and doing well. Giakoumakis for me, definitely. I know he's up there top scorer and stuff like that. I want to see Giakoumakis. See the powerhouse of scoring in derby games. So I'm gonna fancy Giakoumakis or Atate. Berta Bay, perhaps. Obviously you want to see Maurice Jens get a bit of full-time football. Hopefully he could be the new Julian for us. And obviously, Julian when he was playing for us, getting regular games. I was born into the Celtic family, generation after generation. Fair play. Majority of people over here and even in the north of Ireland are born into it. It's different in Dublin because it's all Premier League brainwash. As I always say to people that I meet from Scotland, you go into a boozer in Dublin, besides the Celtic boozers, you go in and say Man United are playing, argument's sake, Man United are playing Fulham on a Sunday, 12 o'clock at Craven Cottage, and Celtic are on away to Killy, or they're on Sky Sports. So you're gonna get there's gonna be preference for the Man United game to be put on before a Celtic game, because people just look at the Premier League as a marketing tool, as it's a hobby chat. People want to go into the office or into the building sites or whatever you work as, or just chatting to their friends about the Premier League. And the Premier League is just literally money, ridiculous transfer fees and stuff, And Dad's a Celtic fan. The rest side is Killy. My mum's side is Hibs. Well, that's a bit of a mixture there, Stuart. Never been to Easter Road. First time actually up in Edinburgh 2 weeks ago. Didn't like Edinburgh, to be honest with you. Thought it was a bit hilly, very tourist. I come from obviously Dublin, full of tourists, and tourism at its peak. In the summer and towards basically from February to September, it's Dublin's peak of making the money for tourism, because obviously it's the summer months. But I've been to Rugby Park. Never been to a game at Rugby Park, but been to Rugby Park. I've never been to Tannadice, never been to Pittodrie. The only stadiums I've been to in Scotland has been Rugby Park, been to Fairhill, I've been to Hampden, been outside Rocks. Oh, I know there's people on there that have been to Rocks, the Rundown Factory. Oh yeah. As I said in the channel earlier on, I think the old banners look better. I know some people are like, we need new banners, need to freshen up. I can understand that. I just think they're real bland. It's not enough, detail on them. It's great to see Callum with the trophy. It's great to see Caesar with the European Cup, but he could have went out with a bit more, detail. But it's better than nothing on Celtic Park, and I think it adds a bit something different. As I said, just on the channel earlier on, who haven't watched the video, it's not really what is displayed outside. It's what's inside on the pitch that we all care about, So Ian Banker is retiring at the end of the year. Ian Banker came in as a director role, and then he moved into the chairman role. And Ian Banker went through my head during the whole the bad season. Didn't step up to the plate, didn't communicate with the fans the best way. It was just statement upon statement. I would have liked to see more more communication with the fans. There wasn't that, and I just, even with the ANGE appointment, and he was sitting there with Don McCoy. I know Don McCoy is not a Celtic anymore, and Michael Nicholson's there in that position. Just irritating, and we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Could have, he's part of the recruitment for Brendan Rodgers, Ronnie Doyle, Neil Lennon over the last 10 years, and so give him some credit where it's due, as much as the guy irritates me. But he's a part of that process, bringing in that, recruiting them managers. I know Dermot Desmond is a massive part of that process because he's the head shareholder and stuff like that. But yeah, Champions League stage is less than 4 weeks away. It doesn't really matter who we draw. There will be two of the Euros very best in our group, 100%. Tour Club will be better than us. Yeah, we're against the odds, aren't we? Really against the odds, Frank. And once we can go out there and construct ourselves the best way we can, it's going to be a defensive game. I know Ange is not into that style of football, but you can't be going out there and getting smashed, 7-0 or 5-0 to PSGs and stuff. And I know these guys have wage bill, probably 50 or 60 times air wage bill, but probably over exaggerating, about 25 times more than our wage bill. But you have to go out there and construct yourself the best way you can, especially for your fans at home. And we need to make Celtic Park a fortress again. We need to bring it back to the zeros, to to 2008, where it was a fortress. There was only one or two teams that beat us in them stages in UEFA Cup and Champions League football. So hopefully we can get there. Hopefully we will. It's up to the gaffer, it's up to the team if they can step to a level that they've never seen before. And we've seen spells of it in the Europa League, even against Bayern Leverkusen. I know we were unlucky against Leverkusen away. We played really well that night. At home, they scored. It was a scoring fest against us, but attacking wise, we the keeper kept them in it, and we could have been 1-1. Could have been in the lead at one point, but that wasn't a fully fit Kyogo. And this time we have ammunition there. I'm looking forward to seeing Liel Abad in his second season, how he gets on. I'm looking forward to seeing James Forrest hopefully being injury free. I know that some people might laugh when I say that, but hopefully we can get Jamesy up to a level. I know some fans on this won't be agreeing with James Forrest getting the 3-year deal. I can understand that. I can understand use that point. But Jamesy, obviously Ange sees something with Jamesy, and he still has that clinical finishing tool of him. He has lost the pace, but he needs to. I think you need to start putting Jamesy on the left. He's not. I don't think he's not productive as he is on the right. You know, you need to get him on the right. You know, there's been a lot of players gone out, like left the club. Dembele's gone, Bolingoli's gone. You know, Scales has gone on loan. Montgomery's gone on loan. Barkas has gone on loan. I can't even keep up the list of players. So yeah, Irigidi's gone on loan. Hazard's still on loan at Helsinki. Albany Yeti, we need to get rid of him. Sorrow's gone on loan. So Rogic, I keep saying Rogic has left. Sadly, Beaton has left, and I think we're going to miss Near Beaton, to be honest with you. I know Near Beaton did frustrate me at times, but you know what? I gave him the praise last season. The only time I slandered Near Beaton was the Michelin game. And I have to say, Near Beaton, tap on the shoulder, came in, done a job. When we had no Callum McGregor, he lifted that team and still got results. So I'll give him the tap on the back there, and wish him the very best. You know, he's back in Israel and with his family and stuff, and you know, Beaton was a servant. You know, he'd be down as an unsung hero. You know, you're a part of a team that went on to do an invincible season, and I know he didn't play much well in the Brendan's first season. Trebles and quad trebles. He deserves the credit where it's due, and Beaton will go up there as once a legend. You know, as a player that we've been remembered. It's hard to say an icon because I don't know if he deserves that icon label, but you know, the fans will remember Beaton. We are going to finish second in the Champions League. Let's be confident. To be honest, once it doesn't really affect us domestically. I know we had Chris Boyd coming out today saying, well, Celtic are them in the Champions League. Hold on a second. Rangers are trying to compete in the Champions League as well, you fanny. So that's if you get through the rounds, the 4 games. We'll see what happens, you know. They still own the paint. They still own that paint of the money. You know, there's rubbish rumours that they're trying to expand that stadium and all. Why would you even expand that kip? You know, it's already, you know, contaminated enough. So yeah. I'm gonna jump off in about 5 minutes, folks. So keep the comments going. Tell me where you're watching from as well. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe as well. It would be really appreciated. I know there's a little donation tip jar there. I'm not asking for anything. If people want to donate, it's your own will. At the end of the day, I'm not having with a cup saying, give me some money. I'm Rangers FC. I need some money. No, I'll be fine. We're gonna, yeah, okay. It is what it is. That's it. It's like they're having a bit of banter. You know, they're quick enough to slander me. You know, I got a lot of abuse when they won the league, and I took it on the chin, like majority of people do, you know. But last season, where were they to be seen? Hiding in the caves, you know, waiting for a zombie threat to happen, you know. So yeah, good. We are gonna never finish second in our group. Honestly, such just reading that out, Frank. I'll be honest, Frank. I'm feeling the same as yourself. I think, you know, if I'd be lucky to finish third and get Europa League, and that's me, God honest truth. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer to people that are watching this and thinking, "Whoa, he's not giving." How's it going, mate? Been to Livy many times. You know, of a friend up in Addywell. You know, Tony Macaroni and Livy, can't beat it. Lovely pizza. You know. Not the stadium now. F the stadium. I've been outside the Tony Macaroni as well. I forgot about that shack, that plastic pitch. But Livy's a good spot. You know, West Lothian, hell. You're gonna have to send me a Livy jersey now. I'll wear that. Black and yellow. I don't need the Steelers for black and yellow. Yeah, I hope you're well, mate. If you could share it to a friend or so, be appreciated. As I said, this season I'm going to try to get as much podcast in. I'm going to try to get more people onto the podcast as well. And if you're interested in doing it with me, give me a mail. I'll chat with you behind the scene. You know, I'm sure there's people that are not pretty confident in the camera, and that's okay. You know, it's not for some people, and that's, I can understand that. I'm confident in front of the camera, you know. don't really care, what people think. I know sometimes I do let it get to me, but I am who I am. Can't change it for anyone. Livy. So yeah. All these have been touched so far. As I said, tell me where you're tuning in from. I'll be heading off soon. High key, Paul and Cotsy still agree. Lennon's team will be able to pump Barcelona. Why should wacky? That night was special in itself. That was just one. To some people outside's perspective, it was a fluke, but it wasn't. It was just the occasion in it. The 125 years, we played well in the new camp, the fixture before, and we knew we could, take them on the challenge. And look at the pass rate they had that game. The stats were sickening. But Fraser Foster pulled off some phenomenal saves and unbelievable. And then Wanyama with that header, and then Tony Watt, magical night. I said we could score against them. I didn't think we were going to beat them. I didn't really think we were going to beat them that night. But look at that's what 10 years ago in October or November, I think. I forget the date, to be honest. Is it 16th of November? Could be wrong. And we'll share, my man, going to the game tomorrow. Are we going to the Livy game tomorrow? Or are we going to the game on Sunday? That's it. We have to focus on the league. We don't want to be. Me and you, Frank, don't want to be having this conversation halfway through the season that you think the league is good, or I think the league's good, and I'm being negative Nancy. We want to be on the same page and, see what happens. As I said, I think it'll be 93 points. Regards to beating them, I think we'll beat them 3 times. I think they will get one over us, as much as I hate saying that. So I think 3 times against them. I think we will play them in the cups. It's always an opportunity. Depends on the teams, how they progress. Could be a Handham semi-final showdown. Could get them in the quarters. Could get them in the 5th round. They tend, like the likes of Premier Sport, tend not to give Celtic Rangers an early fixture with each other. It's all rigged. How's it going? I fly over Lennoxtown every week. Hope you're well. Never been up to Lennoxtown. That's something I want to do on my bucket list. Obviously, get up there. It's a bit of a hike. I'm based in Paisley, so hopefully I'll get up there soon. I know I'm based in Paisley. I know people have been asking where am I living in Glasgow. Paisley, folks. I know it's outside Glasgow, but it's close to the airport. It's easy for one. Easy to get home. Save a fortune getting taxis, Livy, I'm one of the boys, though. Fair play. What's your thoughts on our club taking money from well, look, it's Greg. It's most clubs have gone down the route. Most clubs have gone down the route of basically taking on bookies. That unfortunately betting and alcohol. Like alcohol and gambling companies have. You look at the likes of the EPL. I watched the video of one of the football and vloggers, and he done a video on like 90 odd teams, and I think it was like 64 the teams had betting sponsors on their jerseys, and that's it. Look, if it's investing in the club and it's making us strengthen as a marketing tool, and they're promoting us in other frames of the world, Magnus US promoting us, and then the Alphabet promoting us. I know, yeah, that's the way it is. I know, like, what are we gonna get? Who would you like to see sponsor us? That's the question I'd like to see. What would from you, like, throw a sponsor in there, folks? Who would you like to see a sponsor on the jersey? Who would you like the jersey? Would you like a C.R. Smith back on the jersey? I don't know. I think that, yeah. 10 years in November. Yeah, November. Was it November 16th or November 13th? Or was it November 24th or something around there? Decade's gone. I've got grayer. You've got older. I've got a COVID belly. World's going crazy, man. We could go down the Celtic Foundation route, to be honest with you, with the sponsors. It could be, but look at the club are looking at it as a marketing tool, and that's how football is going. You got to keep yourself modernised with the clubs. I know Celtic Football Club are rich on the traditions, and the point you bring up is it's quite out there, and you're right. Why, like Brother Walford, set a club up to feed, Irish immigrants, you know, exhibition games of football to bring funds in, to feed the poor, feed Catholics, and poverty was a big thing back in them days, and we're kind of going into that stage of poverty again in the world. People are stressing about electricity bills and stressing about the winter, and as I said in the channel, if you're feeling a bit low, just give me an email, folks. I'll try talk and try give you a bit of a voice. I'm not a counsellor, I'm not a psychiatrist in any trades, but from my personal experience and my past experience, there's always ways to lift spirits. And when someone's down and feeling stressed about money, and okay, I'm stressed about money myself. Obviously, I don't get paid at the end of August, but I got the resources of friends there, of family there that help me. You just need to realise there's worse people out there, and you'll get yourself out of the hole. Speak to a friend, speak to a family member. Get off your phone, get yourself out of the house. They need to be done. They're big things that need to be done with mental health. They're the ways of stimulating the brain. Getting the sleep in. Sometimes you can't sleep. Just putting your brain. Phone's going off. You're going to complete darkness. If you need the telly on the background to sleep, all means. Some people like that. I'm not that type of person. I need complete darkness, and it's the way it is. Some people are different. So GVB is an excellent manager, respected by ANGE, but Celtic are much stronger. Start of the season, I could see Livy in all game. Are they playing Rangers tomorrow? I thought that was on Sunday. Now you're talking. Yeah. Very good point, Pat. The amount of Celtic draws, Sefco draws in the SPL is because they sit down, blah, 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 blah. We will drop points this season, folks, and I'd hate saying that, but we're not going to go we're not going to go in and win every game. We could, it's take every game to cup final, but we've a busy schedule ahead, and then it's going to be a weird season with the World Cup being split as well. So see what happens. Just give us a second, folks. I just want to check my flight from Dublin, the Ryanair flight. Literally 10 minutes away in a taxi from the airport. So let me see. Glasgow. Show earlier flights. So Newcastle's delayed. Where is Glasgow? Go to gate. So that probably won't get in till about, let me see. That probably won't get in till about 10 o'clock. So yeah, I'll get there. Right, I'll be jump off in 5 minutes. And let me see. I bet the bookies are here to stay. It depends on the board, it depends on the investors, it all depends on how much they're contributing to the club. And a lot of clubs have betting logos, as I said. I understand we're not allowed to put betting logos on kids' jerseys and alcohol on kids' jerseys, and the likes of France and Holland force adopted that, and then obviously it was brought into the likes of the UK and stuff. Make no sense. It will be much tighter challenge than last season. Okay, if it goes down to the wire, it goes down to the wire. Once it's not a helicopter Sunday, that's the most important thing, to be honest with you, Michael. You don't want a helicopter Sunday. Mark my words, friends. There will be a major change in public opinion on bills and bookies in the very near future. I think the bookies, 100% agree with you with the bookies. I've seen a lot of people talking about it already. I don't know about alcohol. I'm not really fussed about Magners being on the back of the jersey, to be honest with you. I think it kind of makes it a bit different, makes it a bit more detailed. Well, I agree with you with the whole alphabet thing. I used to love the Carlin on the jersey. Used to love it. I know there was times I had to peel off, but yeah. So, folks, I'm going to leave it there. I'll try my best to get back on tomorrow night. I'm not guaranteed I'll get back on tomorrow night. If not, I'll be back on. I'll be doing a preview video tomorrow. We'll get that sorted. I'm going to keep putting up goals, random goals from over the years as well. And if you're only tuning into the channel for the first time, please hit the subscribe button. I'm literally less than 200 away from 13,000. So Rome wasn't built in one day. I appreciate the support. As I said, there is a donation thing there. I prefer if you don't donate, be honest with you, because people need that money. Use it for something more valuable. And that's the most important thing, you know. As I said, we're going through difficult times, and yeah. I'd leave with Frank's comment as well. Guinness and Paddy Power should be sponsoring us with Guinness and the jerseys and Celtic Power. Paddy Power. Paddy Power. I don't think Paddy Power would fork up the funds to do it. You know, the difference with Dafabet is an international betting company. I don't think that Paddy Power is in majority of these countries regulated. In majority, could be wrong, but you look at the price of Paddy Power, I just think it's Canada, obviously the UK and Ireland. I don't know if it's in Australia. You can correct me on it. I don't really want to go on and do research with betting companies. It's not my thing. So yeah, hell. It's time to you, bud. Safe travels, Keith. Thank you very much. Don't worry, he'll be back on Monday, working on the bank holiday. Yeah. So yeah, look, thanks very much, folks. Appreciate the comments. Good night. God bless. Stay safe, and look forward to Sunday. You know, it's only 2 sleeps away. You know, so hell, all the best.